Hello students, Mr. Campbell here.
Mr. Bruns here.
We're going to go over the instruction for this week, and we're going to talk to you about our push-ups, our continuous push-ups that you saw in the description of the unit, and our 60-second sit-ups. Those are going to be our practice for this week on how we're going to do our fitness testing. So if we have to do it virtually, you're going to know how to do it at home and what we're looking for, and then if we get to come back in person, you're going to get to understand and know when we come back. So we're all on the same page right away. So the first thing we're going to do is push-ups, and Mr. Bruns is going to demonstrate while I instruct here. Okay? So when we are doing our push-ups, we remember from last week, we want to make sure our hand placement is underneath our shoulders on the sides of the Kleenex box. We don't want to be way out in front or behind on that. Okay? There's the front view of it, straight down. All right? Now, when we do our push-ups, remember we want to be toes on the floor and our back is completely straight, like Mr. Bruns is showing right there. We don't want to be shaped in our yoga positions where we're upward-facing dog and we're downward-facing dog. We want to have that flat back. And now our continuous push-up means that we have to maintain a rhythm in our push-up. We can't break, we can't rest, we can't put our body down on the floor. Okay, so Mr. Bruns is going to show us 5 continuous push-ups here with maintaining his rhythm. So that's good right there. That's our 5 continuous push-ups. Now, in the fitness test, we're going to try to do as many of them as we can until we can't do any more. So if our legs touch the floor, okay, so Mr. Bruns will show us one where our leg touches the floor, where we're struggling, and we get down and our knee drops. That would stop our fitness test right there. All right. If our rhythm breaks, so if we're going and we're going and we're going, and all of a sudden we pause at the top and we shake out, we're done right there. That's breaking our rhythm. Now our rhythm can change, it can slow down, but we're maintaining rhythm. So if we're starting off fast and we're starting to feel that fatigue, getting tired, he's maintaining a rhythm right now, but it's slowed down from the beginning, okay, until he isn't able to do anymore. So that's what we want to see for our fitness test. That's what we're looking for. No knees on the ground. Now, we know some people are at different stages right now since it's the beginning of the school year, and it might have been since last school year since you've done push-ups. So those of you who need to do the knee push-ups for this continuous one, we can. And last week we went over the form for the knee push-ups, okay? Again, on this, we want to make sure we have that downward angle on our push-up with our hips. So you notice Mr. Bruns' hips are down, his back is still straight. How we do that is if he goes up into normal push-up position, all he's got to do is drop his knees down and he's in that stance. Okay? So we want to make sure everything else is the same. He's going to drop down and do a normal push-ups. His hands are the same. He can maintain a continuous push-up rep through that. All right, so if you need that assist, that's how we're going to do it. And we're going to transition over now to our sit-ups and our description on sit-ups here. And what we want to see, Mr. Bruns will instruct us during that.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Mr. Campbell did a great job of instructing us on our push-ups. Remember, we are training to do our best. So please state if you do use your knees and what your number was. And if you don't use your knees, just tell us what your highest score was. Remember, we are going to train to get our best score on that continuous rhythm during our fitness test. When we do sit-ups during our fitness test, like we went over last week, the perfect sit-up with our arms crossed. Remember, grab onto your shirt so we're not swinging our arms, okay? A nice 90-degree angle with our feet on the ground. And then a sit-up actually would count when we start. Mr. Campbell, for example, would come all the way up. All the way down would be 1. All the way up and all the way down would be 2. The difference between the push-ups and sit-ups and the fitness test is that you do as many as you can in 1 minute or 60 seconds, okay? So if you have a watch at home, if you have a watch or a timer on your computer, on your Chromebook, you can have your mom or dad, sister, brother time you for 1 minute. You need to have the perfect form for the sit-up to count. So Mr. Campbell is doing sit-ups, and then he decides that he's getting a little bit tired and his leg swings. to help them get up. That one wouldn't count, but you don't want to stop. You just want to go back to perfect form and count the next one. Okay, if Mr. Campbell swings his arms, that one would not count. He goes back to perfect form. That one does count. If he pushes off with his elbow, that one doesn't count, but he gets back to good perfect form. That does count. All right, and you just go and do as many as you can for 1 minute. All right, and then you state in there that you have done either 20 or if you've done 25, and you let us know what your score was. And again, we're going to continue to train to get better for our fitness test. If you are in the stage of the crank method, which is kindergarten, after kindergarten, so meaning first, second, third, and all the way through, we really try to stay with that perfect form and to do our best in that. And if we end up getting 1, 2, or 3, maybe 5 or so in the beginning, that's fine. By the end of the year, we want to get better than what we got in the fall. So kindergarten, yes, you can crank, but first grade on up, we're going to maintain with that arms across our chest. All right, students, go get them. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.